Hello crypto cats, my name is Tom and I'm the crypto investor, and it's time for our weekly market roundup of the crypto markets. I've been relegated to my son's bedroom for this video, but feels very appropriate for Father's Day. Okay, so I'm recording this for you at 7 p.m. GMT, so we are looking at another red stinker of a week, and we have Ethereum down 11% as of recording, Bitcoin down 6%, sitting at 34,500. Overall, the alt market is red as well. A few rays of sunshine for you if you are in the likes of waves. Oh, the mean-tastic Shiba Inu, goodness me. And overall, my goodness, what is that sun token? I'm going to go and check that out afterwards. That's ridiculous. But overall, we are looking at another bearish week in the crypto markets. And, this comes on, for me, the backdrop of, I still feel that the main catalyst really is this China crackdown. And you have to remember that 65% of all the Bitcoins in the world are mined in China. And the Chinese government are continuing to reduce the opportunity for people to mine Bitcoin here because of needing to meet their energy goals for 2030. And so they are effectively making it illegal for cryptocurrency transactions. So of course, miners are panicking and selling their Bitcoin. And for me, this is the major cause for our sell-off in the Bitcoin market. Plus, we do have this narrative change. We do have this concern over the environmental environmental impact of Bitcoin as well. So, maybe spare Elon some of your wrath. Looking at Bitcoin overall, I think the important thing for us to mention this week as well is that we have a very big macro event, and that's that the Federal Reserve, who they have said that they are going to raise interest rates in probably at the end of 2022, when it was meant to be 2023. And so they've moved from a dovish stance, which is money for everyone, to a more hawkish stance of, okay, maybe we're going to start raising interest rates, which means that the US dollar tends to appreciate when this happens. And it changes also that tailwind which we've had, which has been one of, the US dollars going down the toilet and we need to find a life raft immediately. And, I don't feel that that's changed, but we do have to recognize that kind of macro outlook is changing. The narrative has changed a little bit. And of course, the Fed have said, it's transitory. Inflation is transitory. And what we're seeing right now is just a consequence of this huge amount of stimulus that we had to put in, but it will all come back to normal shortly. Now, I'm not quite so convinced. And, this is the amount of US dollars printed since 1965, and you can see this unbelievable hockey stick of dollars that have been printed. For me, this doesn't look transitory. This is a spending power of your US dollar, and you can see that it just continues to go down and down and down and down. This doesn't look transitory. So, I don't think the narrative has overall changed on a macro look at Bitcoin, but, in that more macro, if that is even a thing, you could say that has, changed the narrative a little bit. And overall, I would say that Bitcoin has held up fairly well considering this. Let's compare it to our dear friend gold, for example, which is, of course, our hedge against inflation, our store of wealth. And look at the state of gold. It got absolutely demolished, down 6% on the week, closing right at the lows on this support line and looking like it is vulnerable to further downside. So, if you can take any solace, I guess it's that Bitcoin didn't get smashed about quite as badly as gold did. So, let's just look a bit closer. We had this series of We had this series of lower highs that we were putting in, and then we broke that cycle, and that was looking great. That's when Elon said that Tesla are going to start accepting Bitcoin again, should it be from 50% renewable energy sources. And we broke above there, only to sell off for 6 days straight and come back down. And we're now coming into the support here at the where we've continued to find a bounce in the market. But overall, it still looks, Bitcoin is still under pressure, and further downside is absolutely not out of the question. We know that there's strong support at 30,000. We've seen buyers come in significantly here in the past, and here as well. So, for me, my rhetoric doesn't change. It remains exactly the same. We were in a heightened price here due to the amount of leverage in the system, and now we're back to a fairly more realistic price, and I think we need to gain momentum. We will likely just be going sideways, back and forth, boring and dull until we get a momentum shift, and that could be a news catalyst, it could be anything, but I think it just continues to be boring and sideways for the time being. So I'm afraid, get out there, enjoy your summer, delete your blockfolio, because this is all we're doing. And until we break above 43,000 or we break below 30,000, then there's nothing really to say or do on the matter. And Bitcoin continues to rule them all, and so we have to pay attention to this. Looking at Ethereum, Ethereum has had a worse week than Bitcoin. We had this channel which we were in, and we've broken out of that channel, and we're looking like we're going to get a weekly close below that channel. So that's a bearish sign and a bit of a concern to see. But we do have massive support coming in at that psychological round number of 2,000 or so. I had the line here at 1950, where Ethereum hit its head here, came back down, hit its head again, continued to find this as significant resistance, big old, of course, massive sell walls at 2,000, and then broke above it, found support at 2,000, found support at 2,000, time and time and time again, and again here after our big old sell-off. And so, we can see that 2,000 is a big old psychological number for Ethereum. And so, I think what we'd probably do is we come back down here. We see a nice big buy coming in at 2,000, come back down, another one at 2,000, and, hopefully we regain our momentum upwards. Too much good news on the horizon for Ethereum with the IP 1559, successful layer 2 rolls out, ETH 2.0, and I think moving to a proof of stake versus a proof of work for Ethereum is such a big deal. The fact that we can reduce the mining energy consumptions by, 99.5%. I think that the energy rhetoric is going to be more and more significant, and I think this could be what really gives ETH that opportunity to outshine Bitcoin in the longer term. I'm sure I'll upset some of the maximalists with that remark, but that's just how I see it. Looking at the relationship with Ethereum and Bitcoin, we continue basically just to go sideways. This is our 50% market cap flippening, so Ethereum needs to get here to be worth half the value of Bitcoin. And we came back down, we found support here at the 0.06, came back up, made a lower high, and we're coming down now to that 0.6 again. And this feels like a fairly critical line for Ethereum to be holding versus Bitcoin. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see it come back up again. Perhaps let's put a little trend line here from these two and see if this interacts. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ethereum come up to here or so, test this line, be rejected, and maybe we start to form some kind of wedge here. Let's just get my right chart. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something like this begin to happen before Ethereum breaks out and has another pop at the 50%. That's kind of how I see this playing out, but we will see. All to be seen in the future. We'll leave that on for the time being and see how it interacts with that. Okay, looking at Bitcoin dominance, you can see that Bitcoin has really, it's just gone sideways. There's no kind of increase in dominance, which I guess I personally take some happiness from. If the sky was falling in the crypto space, if Bitcoin dominance would be going through the roof. And that's what we've seen in past big end-of-cycle crashes. And so the fact that's not happening is another thing that just gives me confidence that we're not at the end of cycle. And we can flip this. I think we did this in the last video. If we invert this, this is basically like us looking at altcoin dominance, because the higher this goes, the more dominant altcoins are. So we had this huge run for altcoins, and I think we just see this kind of consolidation for a breaking out. And I feel that we've got 3 to 6 months where we just continue to consolidate, where Ethereum dawdles around the 2,000 mark, where Bitcoin dawdles around the 30,000 mark, or bounces between 30 and 40,000, and then we choose a market direction. But I think it just gets boring for a bit, I'm afraid. Not great for YouTube views, but if you are getting any value out of this, please do smash the like button and subscribe for future content, which I will be putting out. Quickly looking at DeFi. So DeFi can't really catch much of a breath right now. Oh, we're still inverted. Let's revert. So, DeFi is just dawdling back down here versus Ethereum. At least it's holding and not just getting crushed. But I guess Ethereum has slipped 10% this week, so can't take too much happiness from that. But I think once we get back above here and start making moves, then I really do think we could see a very decent move for DeFi. We really haven't had our DeFi summer 2.0 that we're promised, and I do feel like it is something we will get in time, particularly once fintech companies start to implement DeFi and offer those higher rates to their customers. It will happen. And as far as the total market cap of crypto, I think we can kind of disregard these boxes which I had on here for the time being. This is when we've lost that upward momentum for the time being, and I think what we see is that sideways consolidation, and this is just where we will stay between 1.4 and 1.8 trillion really in market cap until we do eventually break up to the upside and start looking at taking up these highs. But overall, we hopefully will see buyers coming into the market at 1.4 trillion. So it is, we will just continue to see sideways action, I'm afraid. So get out, enjoy your summer, and I will speak to you soon. All the best. This is not financial advice. I'm just a guy on the internet sharing with you my opinions of the crypto market. I hope you found it useful. Speak soon.